enter the realm of the VCR Podcast with your host, Vish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that redeems itself in the moment the title is spoken. Adam, aka CS Radical, here with you guys. We got a new format, so Vish and Chris, I'm still the bottom bitch, but now I'm a pretty looking bottom bitch. This thing looks sexy now.
No,
you're down there.
Take the word pretty out and you're right.
So,
No,
sorry,
Adam
let
is
me
pretty.
rephrase it. I'm a totally phenomenal bottom bitch.
I liked pretty.
Take the word phenomenal out.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I made this whole fucking new outlay, so suck it. I'm gonna take all of this.
So you willingly put yourself on the bottom.
Yeah.
Outlay.
Well, to be fair,
Outlay.
V is at the top, C is in the middle, R is at the bottom. It makes perfect sense. There was an actual method to it, but it
Chris,
is what
am
it is.
am I on this side for you?
Yes.
He doesn't know what the
You're
hell we're
me.
talking about. He's pointing at nothing at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, you're saying no to the
I want a
VCR
high
podcast. That's what you're doing. So
Dude, I
good
want a
luck
high
with
five.
Oh
that. No.
Dude.
no!
There we
You
go.
were right the first time.
People who are listening to the audio version of this are being like, "What the fuck are these guys doing?"
If it would have to work, I think I'd have to go like this because I think on the overlay you're above me.
Okay, so right now I'm on the right, you're on the left, and like you said,
and I
Adam-
don't think anybody else cares at this point.
No, we almost had it.
So for those the two people that listen to this audio version, we finally changed our overlay for YouTube, which you can watch on
we
CS
have
Radical on YouTube.
We have more than one viewer.
I'm trying to be positive, okay?
Oh, okay.
Hey, I watch them. I listen. I'm a view.
But yeah, we have a completely brand new video overlay. Everything should be looking very, very sexy these days. And if you are interested in seeing a video version of the podcast, I strongly suggest you check out the CS Radical YouTube channel to see that. But for the time being, this is the VCR Podcast where we sometimes talk about video games and mostly not because we go on 10,000 tangents.
Welcome to the VCR tangent.
I can't anymore. Literally, the title of the last episode was I don't know anymore. So
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one. I liked it.
So, as per usual, we start off this podcast by talking about what we've been doing lately. So, because I know what somebody has been doing in the last couple of days, I want to get him to go first because I want to hear everything about it. So, Chris, you need to tell me about your foray into the weeb culture that is Yakuza.
Yes. Well,
Oh.
if I'm going to start with what I've been playing, I have to start at the beginning.
That's fine. Save the best for last. I'm cool with that.
In the
I'm gonna go.
beginning, man created God.
And then he created Yakuza.
Man creates God. God creates dinosaurs. Dinosaurs kill man. Man kills God.
Wait, so that sounds like a JRPG plot. Did
Basically,
Dino Crisis become a JRPG?
I would love if it was. Welcome to our first tangent. That was quick. So I'm on vacation this week, as you know, both of you, because you keep calling me fuckers every time I post you my noon beer and my video
because
game.
it's
True.
true.
Piece of shit.
And it is true. I don't deny it whatsoever. I send those pictures just to piss you off, both of you. So I've actually been able to play 4 games since my vacation started and last we had a podcast. I'm not going to drag out each because I could probably talk for half an hour about all of them. And obviously, as Adam said, there are certain ones that deserve to be focused on. First and foremost, which I'll probably have the least to say because I talked about it last week, I finished Metal Gear Solid 5. All of the main missions, Chapter 1, Chapter 2. I got the quote-unquote true ending and everything. Super good game. I loved it, and I'm just going to give it my final score of 9.5. The only reason it's not a perfect 10, because I agree with Vish, it is a legendary game. The only reason I'm taking off 0.5 is because the only way to get a perfect 10 for me is saying I wouldn't change anything, and there's one thing I'd change, and it's just the pacing of the story missions. I would make every main story mission actually impact the story. There was just too many, like you do 3 side ops of go get this prisoner, go get this prisoner, go get this prisoner. And then you have your first you'd have a main mission and it's go get this prisoner. And it's not even like an important character from the story. It's like a random CIA agent or I don't know, something. just complete an NPC you have to save just so they can mention something to progress the plot. And it's like, make that a side op and then make the main missions be more story heavy, you know, if that makes sense.
That's the thing. It's a lot of the main missions shouldn't have been main missions. Like the one where you save a character from Metal Gear Solid's past. I'm trying to be as vague as possible. Where Chris agreed with me, that's when the story actually took its place. That's when it's like, this is something. This is turning into something really awesome and intense.
Yeah, and it
Like
just took too long to get there, to have that feeling. Every story mission, it's a Metal Gear game. It's meant to be over to the top. There should be something happening with each main mission, and then do all the side stuff on the side. But either way, I give it a 9.5, just because there's that one change, and for me, it's only a 0.5 off.
I mean, it's got really the GNC seal of approval, so that's all you need to know.
Yeah. Yep. And I found Hideo Kojima's actual thing in the game. His cameo. There we go. Wow, couldn't figure out the word. His cameo in the game. There's a side up where you find him. It's so good. It is so good. Because it's his flair. Like it was like, man, you know that Hideo Kojima put a lot of effort into this because it was his time to shine. It was pretty awesome. But I finished that game, and then after that, I ended up hitting the weekdays and stuff. My fiance's working in the condo. We live in a small place, so I spent like 8 straight hours on my balcony with like beer and my Switch. I had nothing but Witcher to play, and I didn't feel like playing Witcher just because I finished Metal Gear, and Witcher would be too much.
Yeah, let's go to an even longer game.
Yeah, exactly. So I ended up rebuying. I checked this store, and I did that thing where if I saw if there was a game I already owned on Steam, but it was like 80% off on Switch, and it would make sense to have it. Plus, I haven't beaten it yet. So I did that, and I got a game called Moonlighter. I don't know if either of you
have heard of it. I haven't gone that deep in it.
Yeah, same.
It's an indie game that's published by Humble Games, which is the Humble Bundle website. They actually publish games now. So you guys would love this game. I feel like, Adam, it's got parts for you, and Vishal, it's got parts for you. As long as you're okay with it being like a Super Nintendo pixel-style game, only it's like nicer looking than a Super Nintendo game. Like you can tell it was like hand-drawn art that they turned into pixels. Like fantastic. So you are in a small town, a very small village, and you run an item shop. You have to sell items in the item shop in order to build the town back up. So you'll, get some money, and then you'll go and you'll open up a blacksmith shop. You'll put in the necessary donation to get that running. But of course, you can also then use the blacksmith shop. And then you can expand your store, or you can go and make a potion shop appear, like that kind of stuff. That's half the game. So it's got like a Sims feel to it, like a Sim type city game, where you're running this town. But at night, you actually have to go to the dungeons that originally appeared that ended up making the town go into ruin. And you go in, and it is a Link to the Past clone as soon as you're in the dungeons. And what it is there's 5 dungeons, but they get progressively harder. And you'll go into the first one, you'll make your way as far as you can into the 4 levels that are there. And as soon as you get, like, if I go any further, I'm going to die, you then use your pendant, which warps you out. You go back to your item shop, you go to bed, start the next day, you take all the items you got from the dungeon, sell them in your item shop. Or take necessary parts you need, go to the blacksmith, make yourself better weapons.
Did either of you guys finish A Link to the Past?
Yeah, I beat it on Switch once it came free with the Switch Online stuff.
Oh, okay. Adam, what about you?
If I did, it was so long ago that I don't actually remember anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the exact same style, meaning top down, like Legend of Zelda, not 3D, obviously. But what's also kind of cool, the dungeons are randomly generated. Every time you go in the dungeon, it's different. So everything resets, the layout resets, the enemies reset. So you never go in there and you get to experience the same thing twice. Like you have no idea what's going to happen. It's a really, really cool indie game. It's like a time waster. You go in, you do a few days worth. I think I've done 20 in-game days selling items. I've got 4 out of 5 buildings in the shop in the town already built up, but I've only beat the first dungeon of 5, and they get harder and harder and harder. So it's really, really, really cool. And the Switch version has swords and shields and bow and arrows and all that you can buy. Well, I guess craft. That are Link's stuff. They've actually got the Master Shield a Master Sword and the Hylian shield and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. That was nice flair they added specifically for the Switch version. I have it on Steam, but I've just never loaded it up. So
yeah, I definitely get major Zelda vibes from looking at this footage.
Yeah, the actual like the dungeon is so good, and the role that you have in Ocarina of Time, they actually added that in. So imagine Link to the Past, but you also had that forward roll that you have in the 3D Zelda games. So it's super, super good. But if you die in the dungeon, you lose every item you picked up. So it's not like the game's over or anything like that. But if you picked up 20 items and filled up your backpack and you die, you get kicked out of the dungeon and lose every item, and you basically have to start the dungeon over.
You can't recover them?
Nope. You just go back in the dungeon and reattempt. But you can exit the dungeon at any point. It costs like $100, which I have like 60,000. So it's nothing, but you have to know when to give up and exit and not push too hard, which I did a few times. And I'm like, no, there's just like one more.
If you leave the dungeon voluntarily, do you still keep your items?
Yeah. Okay. You get to keep all your items, and usually you just end up going to bed, reset all your health, sell stuff during the day in your store, and then go back the next night to the dungeons. So that was that game. And then my third game is a game I installed, played, and have already beat in one sitting. And I think you both have played it, and you both love it. Injustice, Gods.
Injustice. The first one?
One or two?
First one.
Okay, yeah. It's such a great story mode.
That's when I say I beat it, that's what I did. I decided I was going to play through. I own the game. I got it for like, I don't know, $3. I don't know, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do the story mode. I felt like Mortal Kombat, but I don't have the new one, and I didn't want to buy a game yet, especially with the Steam summer sale coming in like 2 weeks. I was like, well, I do have Injustice, so I installed it, played through that story mode. I fucking loved it. I was able to play it like 5-6 hours straight, just in one sitting.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good.
I can always do that. Great, engaging, deep story mode that you would not have expected from this game.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. Once I saw that it was done by the Mortal Kombat people, I was like, okay, it's going to be good gameplay-wise for sure. And the story mode will be decent. No, the story mode was fucking good. Like, I would go to the theater to watch a DC movie with that storyline 100%.
To go off a little off topic, maybe like it's a little bit on topic. Like they were talking about if the DCEU didn't shit the bed, that it was either going to that they were possibly going to transition into the Injustice storyline.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
So, I don't know how I feel about that 100%. Like Superman being the bad guy completely like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like it would have been cool to see at least maybe even like a side story. Or even like the way they did it, where like the heroes of now go into an alternate reality, stuff like that. Like because this isn't the first time like a situation where Superman's gone rogue.
Yeah.
So it's happened before, but to do it as like a side story, because it was a really well done, and like the whole Aquaman thing, he's like, "You're a fucking pussy. I would never go down to the land dwellers like this." Like, I was like, this is a great. I was like surprised. I'm like, this is a great fucking story mode for a fighting game. Yeah,
the story was fantastic. Adam, have you played that one?
Which one? Sorry.
Injustice.
Oh yeah. The first one, I keep the second one. I've tried to get around to, and it's just again one of those cases where it's like price hasn't been right, and then I just can't. I can't get around to getting to it. There's so much else going on.
Yeah, it's funny because after I beat Injustice, I'm like, oh, I got to make sure Injustice 2 is on my Steam wish list. Like, I need this. And I went and checked, and it's $79.99. I'm like, fuck you. I am not paying that for this game. It's like 3 years old at this point.
I will say, since the story mode in Injustice 2 is better. It's so...
You've talked that it's even the best graphics you've pretty much ever seen.
For console gaming, like even actually for gaming in general, I don't think gaming should advance in graphics any more than this. Because
we're not starting that fight again.
Yeah,
I know. That's just my personal opinion, and it looks fucking incredible.
Yeah. So I look forward to playing Injustice 2, but it'll probably be a while before there's enough of a price drop where I jump on that. Because I'd get Mortal Kombat 10 before I'd get, Injustice 2. Because it's older and it'll be cheaper. But, especially for Adam here, then the fourth and final game I've been playing
is
finally installed and started playing Yakuza 0. I've never played a Yakuza game. I own this 0-1 and the first Kiwami, or what is it?
Kiwami, yeah.
Kiwami, yeah. I got them both in a Humble Bundle, just by chance. And I knew I was going to try them at some point. I'd see some on Twitch. I have not played too much. I think I'm 5 or so hours in. And Adam, I have to tell you, these games are fucking incredible. If this is what all the games are like, it's going to be a problem where after I beat one, I instantly install the next one and keep going.
I mean,
Is it just the fact that there's so much fun?
Yes.
This is definitely you're getting the best one right from the very start. There are hits and misses. Like, now that you've played 0, you're going to go into 1 and you're just going to be like, man, the story has definitely gotten a lot better since the old games, because the story in 1's kind of rough, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 and 2, now that they're completely remade, they're a lot better too, because they add a bunch more stuff in there, and it's definitely a lot more polished. Whereas 3, 4, and 5 are a little bit difficult in their own right because they're just remasters, so you're still using the clunky PS3 version of the controls and stuff like that. So there's some stuff, and I think I made this conversation before, like the darts game in the newer games are a lot better because they're more just hover and hit a button, whereas in 3, 4, and 5, because they're remasters, they're straight up pull the stick back and flick it forward and hope you did the right amount of power to it, because otherwise you miss the board completely.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I want to be excited for that. No, but the Yakuza 0, just, I don't know what it is. It's the charm of the game. Like the setting and the characters, the over-the-topness, just the randomness. I don't know. Like, I'm super into the story of all things, which is crazy because the story is just, it's a little over the top. It's a little silly, but it's also got like this serious mafia tone to it, obviously. I love it. Like, I am fucking on board. It's making me want to go to Japan randomly. And I already wanted to, but like now it's making me want to go to Japan in the 80s and like go drinking until 6 a.m. Like, I don't get it. Like,
That may be a little difficult for us.
Right now, yes. Yes.
Yeah. The whole time travel thing isn't really there yet.
In the 80s, yeah, that'll be tough. We
gotta find a way to get into the quantum realm.
Yeah. I just played a bit of the story, and then it obviously went where the main character and his buddy went having drinks, did karaoke.
Fuck yeah, you did karaoke.
Like, you press all the different buttons, it becomes a rhythm game. I did good. I did real good. I was proud of myself. And then all of a sudden it like got serious, where it's like, oh, this person has been killed. And it's like, oh crap. And it was like, related to the main character and what he was doing. And then all of a sudden you met with like the three lieutenants of the Yakuza families and stuff like that. Like, I'm so intrigued by it.
That's what's amazing about it too, is like it does such a great job at, like, you can go from the most goofy shit possible. And I mean, I've told you guys a story about and obviously Chris will get to do it if he plays the business management part of this game, where he gets to have a chicken as one of his business partners. You can go from one of the most absurd things possible, and then just like that, if you go back to the story, it's just super like serious, like crime drama level shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. In my head, I don't know why this is how I was describing it in my head, but it was like if you took a Mafia game, but like mixed it with Daytona USA made by Sega. Like the colors and everything of the Daytona game and the like wackiness of the singing and everything, and then you mix it with a Mafia movie and you end up with just this Sega.
Honestly, here's the best way I can describe it. The Yakuza games are basically if you took the Godfather movies and then made them anime. Turn it into a comedy anime.
Yeah. The way Chris is describing it, I'm getting Shaun of the Dead feels. Like,
with the wackiness?
Where Shaun of the Dead had moments of like extreme wackiness and ridiculousness, and then moments of like, wow, his mom is about to die.
Yeah. But think if that's your comparison, it gets 10 times more heavy and serious in Yakuza than it ever would in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I look forward to definitely continuing more. Again, I'm not too far.
It's almost like you're playing like a game that's like almost Deadpool, the video game, and then you change the channel and it's like you're watching like a telenovela. Like just super like dramatic, over the top, like super deadpan serious.
Yeah. I love the way it looks. I love the colors, like how bright everything is. Everybody's clothing is bright. The streets obviously are littered with all the lights and everything like that all the time. It's just always like it's a world I would love to visit. Like it's actually very, very welcoming and intriguing. Like where
Does
this
the entire
area is present.
series take place in the 80s?
No, it
No.
basically goes by year to year. So like
Yeah.
well, this one, because it's a prequel, it's different. Like this one's actually set in the past before any of the games happen. But I think from every time they release a game, it's really close to being when it actually is in the present day. So like for example, the new one that got shown off at the IGN Expo, which we'll get into later, is taking place in 2019, and it's not because like they just picked a year. It's they try to make it like present day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll probably have more. Well, definitely we'll have more to say about it next week as I play more of it. I'm going back in. I probably will. I'm definitely playing tonight.
And like,
I just decided.
And I mean, on top of it too, it is really one of the more satisfying like beat 'em up games too. Especially once you get into the later game, and you have all these extra abilities and then shit like that. Like it gets great. Not to mention, you'll get to play a second character later on, and he is also super fucking fun to play too.
Oh yeah.
Is it like I'm feeling like that Jackie Chan PlayStation game that came out, which was surprisingly a shit ton of fun.
Jackie Chan? Oh, was it Bulletproof or something?
No, I don't think it was called Bulletproof, but there was actually a Jackie Chan game for the PlayStation.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I can picture it.
There was one for him. I know Jet Li had one too.
I definitely remember.
There was another one as well. There's another guy as well. I can't think of his name.
That game was a shit ton of fun, and that's what I'm picturing right now because I've never played the Yakuza.
Oh, this game is stupid fun.
If I did pick what it was like gameplay wise, like if you take out a lot like the beat 'em up part, and if you take out all the like anime style and everything, like it's like a Grand Theft Auto kind of idea, but but at least so far no guns and stuff like that. If every time you got into something with Grand Theft Auto, it was like you had to beat people up only, like it was pure fighting with combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could say it's like GTA with then like a third person beat 'em up game.
Is it open world as well, or not really?
Or yes and no. I mean, it's open world, but it's also like in these smaller areas.
Yeah, a smaller open world, which I like because it's not overwhelming.
And that's the thing too. As soon as you play more and more of the game, like you'll become familiar with the area. Like you'll play Yakuza. Like if let's assume you go through the entire series, by the time you play like I don't know Yakuza 3, Kamurocho, you're gonna know exactly where most of the main places are because most of them don't change. So like. Your hideout bar is always in the same place. The convenience stores are always in the same place. The arcades are always in the same place. So eventually you start to become not only familiar with the characters, but you become like attached to the area too because you've played it enough times that like oh yeah, that's where that is.
Yeah.
Almost like you know the city, like you actually live there.
That happened to me in Resident Evil when I was playing the Resident.
Oh, I think we lost Vish.
Yeah, I think we did.
Man, I blame the new format.
The new format?
Yeah, I blame the overlay.
Blame the new format.
Yeah.
All right, I got all excited thinking you wanted to talk about the new Yakuza game, but...
Guys, sorry, everyone completely froze for a
second.
No,
that was definitely on your end, but yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're back now.
Oh, now he's not. All right, technical difficulties aside, so otherwise, Chris, was there anything else you had to go with Yakuza, or is that going to be it there?
Nope, I'm just excited to hop back in and play some more tonight and probably have a fair bit more to talk about with it for next week.
Cool. All right, so we might as well let Vishal go next, unless his computer decides to go completely apeshit on us again, but what have you been up to?
I hope not. I unfortunately haven't been doing a lot. Again, as usual, I did start and played a little bit of the Zelda game on the DS, A Link Between Worlds, because I figured, you know what, it's nice outside, and if I want to just go outside, chill, and just play something instead of just like sitting down and doing fuck all.
I mean, not today it wasn't. It's fucking 31 with a humidity of 41 degrees Celsius out here, so maybe not today.
I was on my balcony today. I had to come inside. I couldn't even stay out there to play games.
It's unfortunate. I'm not like, unlike Chris, I'm not on vacation, asshole.
Also,
So I was thinking of like just playing that because I've had that for a while, and I was going through my Zelda history, and I haven't played that much of Zelda. I've realized like I love Zelda, but it's like I go from OG Zelda, like NES Zelda,
yep.
to A Link to the Past, and then to Ocarina of Time, and then Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. So of the Zelda series, I've played 5 titles. Granted, they're some of the most significant ones, but
Yeah.
it's like, huh.
No one's gonna
So
fault you for not playing Spirit Tracks. It's okay, Vish.
Yeah, who cares about you? Just don't play.
No,
it.
but it's like I've never played A Link to the Past. Link to the Past. Okay, I meant Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, not Link to the Past. If I did mention A Link to the Past, so I've never played A Link to the Past, and I'm gonna wait until they come out with a remake of it because I think it's gonna happen eventually one day. Skyward Sword, I just found it was not very user friendly to
No.
play.
No,
I'll never go back and play that one.
I
unless
heard
they re-release it for proper like if they somehow
Yeah.
remade it like 10, 15 years from now and just did it without the motion, maybe it'd actually be a pretty fun game. But with the Wii,
I heard the
modes,
game's
it's
incredible.
terrible.
Chris even said it was incredible.
It was, but I'll never go back and play it because of it. I if they re-release it on Switch with like no motion controls and just make it
It would be a
normal buttons
lot
again,
better.
I would
Yeah.
I'd pick it up right now because the story was fantastic. It's like a prequel of it's the prequel to every Zelda, like it's the oldest
Well,
one
and that
of
was the
story.
thing too. Like, I actually really enjoyed like the little bit that I played of it, but I couldn't get past the controls. I thought it was so bad. Like
Yeah, it was-
a game that requires you to get immersed in something. If you spend so much of it not doing the thing you want to do, like you break it all.
Well, it was
Yeah.
kind of awkward. Just the entire time you have to like hold your Wiimote up like that. It was. I understand it, and I think it's kind of cool the concept of it, but it's like your arm's gonna cramp.
Well, yeah,
after
but
a
it'll
while.
also be cool 20 years from now when we actually perfect that motion tech.
Yeah, I understand that
It
part.
definitely isn't now.
Yeah.
Or
And
especially
also
wasn't when it came out.
Another issue with that game was the timing of it. That when it came out, Wii was like done. So
Yeah, it was
Wii
the
U
end of the
started
life
coming out.
cycle for sure.
Yeah.
That seems to be
So-
every Zelda game though these days.
But normally when they do that, it releases on the old console and the new one. Like Twilight Princess was on GameCube and Wii, and then Breath of the Wild is on Wii U and
Twilight-
Switch.
Twilight Princess is known to be a Wii title rather than a GameCube title. So
I mean,
it's like
it's the better version, so yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas also it's like Breath of the Wild was known to be more of a Switch title rather than a Wii U title.
Yeah.
So because frankly, I forgot that Twilight Princess came out on GameCube, and everybody else does as well. Essentially,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that's so I just because I thought, you know what, it's a simple game. It's not overly. I don't think it's overly that long either.
No.
Like because
I
it's a DS
want to
game.
say it's a what game? Sorry.
It's a DS game.
Yeah, they're not going to be that crazy long unless you're playing like a JRPG.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I was that's when I'm starting. I saw unfortunately I haven't had a chance to do Devil May Cry, and
Or The Expanse.
yeah, I know.
Or the expense.
So I'm not even watching any
Waiting.
TV casually. Someone is playing it. So I don't know why I never watched this show before. Modern Family I've been watching. I know I'm going a little off our usual credo and context.
Especially because you're still not watching The Expanse, you son of a bitch.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that, and I'm gonna be hearing it every week until I actually watch
Yep,
it.
because I ain't forgetting.
Yeah. I know.
Every week.
I don't know why I've never watched that show. It is so goddamn hilarious. Not
I do
just
love
funny,
that show.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own quirks. It's so well written. The characters are very lovable, all of them. One thing that's unique, and I by all means, I mean this in the most respectable and politically correct way, that they make the gay couple Cameron and Mitch a real couple. And I don't mean it that like that gay couples aren't real couples. I mean like they make it that they are they consult each other before making any big decisions. They co-parent. They team up. Like, they're a real couple. They're not just a quote unquote gay couple. Like, when you see them on the show, they're a couple and they're just trying to co-parent.
So what
and
you're saying
be the
is
best-
they're just a couple.
Yeah, like
Essentially,
they're
yeah.
a realistic couple.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
which really, a lot of gay couples on television and movies aren't portrayed like this. And the only other ones I can think of are Holt and Kevin on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
But this time it's more of a gay couple family. And it's a really well done show. It's hilarious. And it really does have very heartwarming moments as well. So that's the only other. I unfortunately haven't been able to take part a lot in my nerd culture lately, and I'm really trying to. But I've been listening to this one podcast, and it was because for me I have some emotionally crippling insecurity issues, and it was talking about like to get over your insecurity issues. Just sometimes, even during quarantine, randomly make conversations with people. Today, when I was doing a photo shoot on a house that where my company is rebuilding, like from the ground up, like it's a full gut and rebuild, and I took a picture of this sign that this lady had saying "Congratulations, graduates," and she came out, and I was like, "It's a nice sign." She's like, "Yeah, it really is." And me and her just started having a conversation about just random shit about her daughter going to university, and actually not going to university because there's no point in her paying such an expensive tuition if she can't even do anything.
Yeah.
Like, who knows if it's
I
going
was
to
gonna say nobody's going to university right now. So
Yeah. So this was a part of the whole exercise of making conversation with people, regardless if it's a hot chick or anybody. Like, she wasn't an experienced teacher, I would say. And me and her just had
Sexually?
a really nice.
Jeez, where are we going with
Yeah.
this? You suddenly went from hot chick to she's experienced. I'm like, what? Whoa.
Yeah.
This
I think
story,
I've seen
this
this video before.
Dear Penthouse.
So we just had a nice conversation, and I even explained to her, I'm like, yeah, I took some night school at McMaster University, and frankly, I learned more from that than I did in any program I took in formal education. And so she was going. We had a really good talk about it, and she's like, yeah, I'll actually tell her about that because it's more practical education rather than like typical university theoretical education, which really doesn't fucking do all, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but that shit has never helped me much. And then on the way, I had to look after my niece for a little bit, and we went for a walk. And then I was talking to another lady, and we were just talking about like she's a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and since Tom
Always
Brady
comes
went
back to football. God damn it.
Madden.
Yeah. So we had a nice talk about like how she was talking about like how they would actually have seasons tickets to the Buccaneers. Like, she was a Hamilton resident, but she lived in Florida for the winter, it seems like. And she would have tickets. And we were talking about pools because right now, pools are the new toilet paper. The way people were like hoarding toilet paper, people are buying pools now. Like, even like relatively large adult-sized inflatable pools. Because frankly, I don't think beach days or beach trips are going to happen. I don't think any vacations are going to happen. Very few people are going to go to the cottage this year. So it's like, you want to just relax. And frankly, vacations this summer are going to be Porta Backyardo. So we were just talking about like people are just buying pools now just so they can go in the water some way or another, because frankly, water is relaxing. Just don't go blackout drunk so you don't, drown. Not a great idea.
True.
And yeah, it's just like this exercise of like just making random conversations with people and just to get over insecurity issues does tend to help. And you gradually work your way up. You start making conversation with random people, and you just lose your anxiety and your insecurities about it. And you start getting so comfortable. You start talking to people that you may want to do more than just talk with. So it's just, that's really it. I've just unfortunately I've been gaming or watching any nerdy shit. I've just been like really just doing self-improvement stuff. And as I mentioned last week, I was late to the podcast or to gaming. I forget which day it was, because I was buying a new camera and just trying to build a nicer portfolio. So yeah, from Lord of the Rings, they say there's no victory without sacrifice. So I've had to sacrifice my leisure activities to more self and personal development activities. So that's really what I've been doing. And I'm still continuing to do that because, frankly, you guys have known me quite a long time now. I know, and Adam, I'm pretty sure, is fully.
He means us, by the way.
Yes. And I'm just trying to be my best self, and that's all I've been trying to do. But on to Adam.
Well, if you want to be your best self, you know how you start? By watching The Expanse.
Yeah, actually, I need some new shit in my life to
yes, he
enjoy.
Does. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And Vishal, you know we love you, buddy.
We wouldn't stray you. If I wanted to do that, I could find a million other things I could stray you with.
Oh, suck it. What have you been up to?
Not a whole lot.
Well, I know. Playing Madden.
And once again, Discord, Vishal's views. Ban Vishal's views. But yeah, I haven't been doing a whole lot because most of the weekend, where I normally get a lot of my stuff done, I spent obviously on this overlay and changing a bunch of stuff. The intro's different. We obviously have this animated setup now as well. So a lot of that was devoted towards fixing things up here and kind of giving us a fresh coat of paint. So for the most part, gaming-wise, I haven't done too much. Most of my gaming was really investing in...
Madden?
I'm legit. You do this one more time, I'm kicking you. I'm not even fucking joking. I'm not joking. Don't test me. I'm okay with this overlay getting fucked up if it means getting my way. Yeah, aside from like booting up GTA Online, because we were going to start doing that eventually. That's going to be our next game, because Left 4 Dead, we do have 2 more videos in the can, but there are certain jokes that we made during that show that I feel like need some time before we release these videos, because I do think they're funny jokes, but the timing is not right to put them out. So,
are you saying that we have an offensive sense of humor that would
it's not that we had an offensive sense of humor, it's that the humor that we use is definitely not timely based on what's going on right now.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying it's racial humor, I'm saying it's more police humor.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff that we said, I'm like, even if it really isn't that uncomfortable, I don't feel comfortable taking that chance. So there are still more 2 Left 4 Dead videos in the can that just are going to get done eventually, but that's until things kind of settle down on the real world front. But GTA Online is going to be our next
for a while.
Yeah, it may not be a while. GTA Online is our next pick. It just seemed like a really good fit for us to kind of go back, especially because Epic just put it on for free, made sense, didn't cost us a dime for all of us to get it. So really what I've been doing was, for the most part in the last few days, has just been going on and just kind of reacclimatizing to it again, replaying some of the things. The one thing I will say is because I played it right from the very beginning on console when it came out, and it was a bit of a mess then. It's a clusterfuck now because the game the game really should be doing the smarter thing, which is slowly bringing content in. As soon as you hit a level, all of a sudden 10 different things open up for you and they badger you with it. And it's like, guys, most of the stuff that you need to get to these specific pieces of content require you to actually get money, which you are not going to have this early in the game. Like, for example, they have this big casino heist they want you to do, but you have to buy this whole building. And it's like, most of them are over $1 million of the game's currency. And you certainly aren't going to have that early in the game. So it's one of those things where I was like, you should have put a trigger in these things that said, hey, as soon as your bank account gets to this point, then maybe start talking. But at the beginning of if you're a completely new player, and especially if you, oh dear, Discord just totally broke on me. That's interesting. Okay, I'll try to get it back.
Oh, there.
That was weird.
Yeah, you got booted.
Discord just gave me like the straight up snap message, like it just shut down on me.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Jeez, weird. New overlay, and we've had 2 major fuck-ups already.
Love it.
This podcast is screwed. But yeah, going back to that, like if you're a completely brand new player and you're going into this like no money, especially if you didn't get the epic version that gives you a free $1 million, which by the way I don't even have yet. They said it can take as long as 7 days for it to automatically get transferred to you. So
wow.
it hasn't even come to me right away. For some reason, all the freebies that you can get are there, which is weird. Why you couldn't get the $1 million right away then? But I mean, the cars they give you for free are fine. They give you a couple of buildings so you can get your apartment and you can get this big garage so you can fit 10 vehicles in it. So at least freebie-wise, you get something, and you get something of value. But if you don't get this premium version for free like you did on Epic, if you literally just got the game tomorrow, you're going to play this game, go in, and be like, why the fuck are you showing me all this shit? I can't do any of it anytime soon.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's rough. But I mean, I still enjoy it. I love just going in and playing around at golf while I listen to a podcast. That's pretty soothing. And then immediately going out and just killing everything.
As you do.
They got a lot more, especially because I've been away for a couple of years, they got a lot of cool race content, a lot of cool, 1v1 or team battle modes. There's a lot of cool stuff they've added into it since, so that's definitely helpful. But we won't really know until we start doing that stuff ourselves, so that's obviously something to look forward to. Yeah, otherwise, I played a bunch of small demos just for the demo reel, and that's about the gist of my gaming. Like, I'll give you 2 notable ones that I came across. There was one I played called Pawnbarian, which is a puzzle game that uses chess as its system. It's almost like a dungeon crawler, but with chess.
What's this game called?
Pawnbarian. So like barbarian, but pawn instead of bar.
Where are you playing this?
It's not on Steam yet. It was a demo on Steam. It's going to be coming out relatively soon, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's just started I think it started like a Newgrounds sort of deal. I think it was just a Flash game for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So what's this? Where are you playing it right now?
I just said it was a demo on Steam.
Okay, sorry.
You want to do some self-help, Vish? You open your fucking ears, eh?
I love the A part.
Hey, I'm Canadian. We're a bunch of hockey hosers here, eh?
Canadian, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, it's basically a game. Is like you'll come on to it's. I don't know if it's procedurally generated or if they just straight up have like levels. But basically you'll come on, you'll have your piece, and there will be a bunch of monsters on the map. Whether it's like a goblin or this like virus thing that spreads. So they have all these weird things. So like there's an enemy that you can't actually damage with your character, because it's almost like you have a deck, so you can have a couple of pawns, some knights, a bishop, a rook, like you can have all this stuff. And again, if you get your pawn to the complete other side, you can turn it into a queen. So there's all this extra stuff that kind of allows for it. And some of these enemies have cool things, like there's one, like I said, this virus thing, so if you hit it, it explodes into a bunch of smaller ones that you got to deal with as well, and they can also poison the map. So there are certain spaces that if you stand on, you take damage. Or there's an enemy that you can't do any damage to him. He'll evade your attack if there's any square for him to go to. So you got to either corner him or put him up against a wall with other enemies or anything like that. So it ends up being chess, but a lot more strategy in terms of your positioning rather than just simple chess, like knock things off. Like it's literally just, okay, I'm on this square. I have a knight, a pawn, and a bishop. Okay, where can I go that I don't take any damage, that I can do something and can I maybe gain some ground so maybe I can get some more queens to replace my pawns. By the time I got to the end of the demo, I think I made it to the last level, but barely. And all I was doing for every turn, because you get more coins to spend in between levels on like health, or more power-ups, or things of that nature, depending on how fast you finish the levels. Later on, as I got to near the end, I was not gaining shit because I was just trying to survive. So a lot of the turns was me like, okay, I'm here. I need to somehow get somewhere on the map where I don't take damage. And like for 10 turns, I'd just be skirting around trying to lead enemies where I want them so I can actually do something and not get hit. So it ends up being this really interesting concept of taking like a basic like puzzle game, but adding chess elements to it. So there's a little more strategy to it.
I mean, it sounds fun.
It was definitely a lot more interesting than I gave it credit for. I thought, okay, this might be something interesting, and by the end of it, I'm like, dude, I fucking want this game. Like, legit, I was super impressed with it.
The way you're describing it sounded like a mobile game, like a.
It probably would
Android.
be. Yeah, you could definitely use that as a mobile game.
I want to see if it's on the.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
What? How do you spell it?
PAWNBARIAN. Like I said, it's like barbarian, but you replace bar with pawn. And in the meantime, I'll also talk about the other one that I came across, which is called Hero.exe, which I can only describe as if anime came out with another Mega Man Battle Network game.
Oh, nice.
Because that's exactly the system, the battle system. It totally rip off Mega Man Battle Network. And I'm like, oh, I'm very interested in where this goes. And very, very interesting art style. It's a very like chibi anime art style. It's very indie anime art style, I guess I should say, is a better way of looking at it. It has like an overworld map. There are random encounters that lead into that system. So it's pretty bare bones. Like the gist that I got from it there, I pretty much enjoyed as well. That's another game I'm going to keep an eye on. There was a couple other games that I did play for the segment that we're nowhere near talking about. I played a puzzle game that was as hard as Myst in terms of I can't figure out what the fuck I got to do.
You hate Myst.
I hate games that like I'm smart enough to figure out and then I can't.
Yeah.
I hate games that make me feel stupid. That's my problem. So most games. Well, I'm not kidding myself here.
Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, the game?
Oh, good lord. No, Myst makes you feel like you're playing an Are You Smarter Than a Kindergartner? Because it makes you feel stupid. I hate those games. Same with The Witness. Yeah. Fuck that game.
Did you ever, what are you talking about, like OG Myst, like the one from 95?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking the old school like puzzle games that gave you no hints. And also, some of the mechanics make no sense because you'd never think of doing that.
Well, with a game like Angry Birds, a lot of times the success on the game depends just on chance, essentially. It just like, you just are lucky to make that good shot to complete the level.
Is that it? Yes. I'm trying to understand the connection to Myst.
No, but that's what I mean. Like a lot of times puzzle games are like, they make you feel stupid, but a lot of times it's just by chance you're able to.
No, Myst isn't by chance. You're just dumb.
Yeah, Myst is you walk around in an island and you have to like figure out where something is and know to turn this dial and go somewhere else. It's like a first person walking
like
puzzle.
This demo I played, I legitimately was about to quit because I'm like, guys, I can't figure it out. I can't do this to myself anymore. And then I just had a flashback to like this one item because it never tells you that you can do this. But I went to my inventory and crafted an item because I didn't know I could craft the entire game until that point. I just, out of happenstance, be like, I wonder if this does anything. And I just clicked, dragged it onto this other item, and boom. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You never said at any point in this game that I can do that. Yeah. That's the kind of shit I don't like. Like, I said at the end of that demo, I don't mind it. I think it's actually a cool idea. But I hate puzzle games that do that shit. Because if I can't find a solution to a problem I don't know exists. That's the thing. If I don't know that this is a way I can solve a problem, why would I try to solve the problem? That's always been my problem with puzzle games. But yeah, those have been basically all I've been doing. So I think 50 minutes is enough time to spend on what we've been doing.
Yeah, about half the podcast as it.
So we'll try to run through the IGN Expo stuff as quickly as we can. A lot of it's not that crazy to talk about. It's more just like brief thoughts. So we're going to go in order here. At this point, I stopped at Void Train. That's where I stopped. So as soon as Arcade 1-Up shows up, that's where we're cutting it off because arcade cabinets and an interview with David Hayter is not the most newsworthy thing. It's just cool extra.
Yeah, cool extra.
Which, just to go quickly, which arcade cabinets did they reveal?
They showed Street Fighter versus Marvel, I think was one of them. They showed Marvel versus Clash of Superheroes. And there was one other one that I forget. Oh yeah, it was a Big Buck Hunter one.
Yeah. Okay. And also, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I will say those two games, the Marvel vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, those two I put a lot of quarters into. Marvel vs. Street Fighter isn't that great. Cyber Akuma is the lamest villain.
Let's be honest. If you're buying an arcade cabinet of Marvel vs. Street Fighter, you're doing it because you have a lot of money and you just don't care.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves.
I think if you buy the cabinet, you get all of those games. It was like 4 X-Men style games.
Oh, if it's that, then that's not bad.
Even then, like, I know how much those things cost, and I'm like, man, I don't think I can justify that.
I think they're like between $250 and $400.
Yeah.
They're pretty expensive.
I want one, but it's just like...
Do you want one?
Yeah. I think I'd rather just build up my gaming room with my PC and PS5. And
that's
what I think could be a possibility is, frankly, to just get a gaming PC and build one and just put the arcade stick that I have, which is compatible with PC, into as a playset.
Yeah. I guarantee there's people who do that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
That would be awesome because it'd be like, oh, I'm playing the arcade. Because sometimes, like I said, I bought this arcade stick because I miss that old vintage arcade feel.
Yeah.
So arcade cabinets aside.
Yeah.
I love how I'm like, we're as soon as we get to this point, we're gonna stop, and then Vish immediately goes, "What about that thing?"
Yeah. Arcade cabinets.
So I'm going to go in order here. So right off the bat, they started with Werewolf the Apocalypse, where we learned absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to say this 1,000 times over, and we might have to say this during the PlayStation thing live. If you show me a new thing that I've never heard of before, and you don't show me what the game is, don't fucking show me your trailer. If I've never heard of you, I don't want to see your trailer. If you are Borderlands, you can show me a cinematic trailer, and I'll know what the fuck you are. Yeah. I have no idea if this is a shooter, if it's an adventure game, if it's a puzzle game, if it's a racing. It could be a fucking racer for all I know. You could be racing wolves. I don't fucking know.
I mean, I'm buying it then.
That'd be cool, actually. But yeah, like, again, I guess it could be cool, but the last time I saw a game that was really overgoing with werewolves, that was The Order 1886, and I still have flashbacks about that game.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not good flashbacks, are they?
Nope.
No.
This next one was interesting and then perplexing at the same time, was Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah.
Which I immediately looked at and went, how the fuck is Bethesda, or not Bethesda, yeah, Bethesda, how are they not immediately copywriting content claiming this? Because this is legitimately a Doom ripoff.
It's Doom.
Like, it looks, like, even the glowing enemies makes me think this is Doom. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is like, I'm surprised they managed to get this through, because I think you could have made a case for them, like, plagiarizing this.
Yeah.
Because it's basically just Doom with Crypt of the Necrodancer into it.
Yep.
So it's basically like a rhythm game to Doom. And I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, I guess you can make the claim that, yeah, that's transformative, but also, you still look exactly like Doom. This is kind of weird. Like, the only thing it's missing is a giant floating head.
Yeah, one of the Doom...
one of the Kako demons.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked cool. And they did an interview later on where I kept watching and be like, you know what? I mean, it looks cool and all, but again, it's the same with Crypt of the Necrodancer. I don't like those games because I don't like having to focus on the dungeon and the beat at the same time. It's a little too much.
I have it playing in the background right now. The one thing I'm noticing is it's very snow-like, where Doom is very you're in hell.
Well, but it's still the same. Like, literally, the combat looks almost identical.
I'm looking at one level right now, and it's very red and hell-like. So yeah, I see where you're going with the Doom ripoff.
I'm not even talking the setting, just literally the way the battle looks and the way, like I said, when an enemy is like at kill point, you see the orange glow. That's literally Doom. So I'm like, that's a little too close, guys. You couldn't have like made him glow like he had light on him or something, or make him look like he's on fire. Like, you couldn't have done something else. So that was just a little bit weird.
I can't lie though, I kind of want to play that.
I'm curious at least.
Yeah, I actually like the rhythm games because I find whenever I'm playing a game, I'm usually paying attention to the music a lot anyways. So when it's like, all right, there's this metal song on and you got to shoot the enemies to the beat of this awesome song, I'm kind of like, I want to try that.
I did like how in the interview though that they asked the guy that they were interviewing, by the way, just to make sure, is the guy playing this demo really good, or is this like how most people should be playing it? And the guy's like, no, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just to let you know, what you're seeing in this demo is not what you'll be doing the first time you play it.
Yeah, you won't be able to get there.
I'm looking at it as well, and I don't know. I don't think it looks like anything that special either.
Like it's a game that looks like a fun concept and maybe a good proof of concept. I don't know if this will be something that's implemented as well.
Yeah,
but
and
that's a lot of indie games.
You can't hear the music part of it too, because it's like it's a rhythm game. Like you're going to the beat of the music as you're shooting demons. It's Doom Hero.
I mean, it's
okay.
Like I said, it's an interesting idea, but it's also one of those ideas that I'm like, this might be tough.
Yeah.
Then a really random one came up next. I did not understand why Alex Kidd and Miracle World needed a remake all of a sudden after how many fucking years?
It's like, I think their last game was 1989 or
like it was a Sega Genesis launch, wasn't it? Like
it was Sega's mascot before they invented Sonic.
Yeah.
Which how long ago was that?
Oh, this guy. He's in the monkey costume, right?
I'm assuming, yeah. I don't remember much of it because I wrote everything down, but I didn't take too much notes.
Yeah. I actually loved Alex Kidd, and I honestly, if this is a good price, I'd pick it up. Purely for the nostalgia.
It's just random. Like I literally went there, I'm like, what is this game? Like this looks kind of bad. Like I'm like, this looks like a really like indie game. And then it's like Alex Kidd, I'm like, okay.
So this actually, I think a game like this would be better on portable consoles like DS.
Well, I mean, you're not going to see a lot of that anymore because Switch exists.
Like it would maybe. Well,
this would be okay for mobile.
On Switch, yeah, I don't know.
This would be fine for mobile.
No, I don't think it would be good for mobile because the controls are quite complex.
No, they're not.
No, but I mean, for mobile, it would be really complex.
It's literally a Sega Genesis game. I don't think it'd be that complex.
I have a feeling it's going to come out on mobile, Switch, PC, PS4, Xbox One.
Fucking like games like Dead Cells are on mobile right now. Believe me, Alex Kidd can handle mobile.
That's true. If Dead Cells is on there.
After that was the sequel to Chivalry, Medieval Warfare Chivalry 2. Basically, just first person sword slashy madness, which I've played before on PC way back in the day. That was super fucking fun. So that'd be cool to go back into.
It's just fun. Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, all right, this is either Chivalry 2. Or a huge fucking ripoff of Chivalry. And I went Chivalry 2. I'm like, okay.
Because it was as soon as it was Tripwire, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's Chivalry 2.
Yeah. It did look fun. It looked like a shit.
Those are fun games. Like it's literally just like playing a first person shooter, but instead of guns, you're just slashing with swords, spears, and bows. So.
Yep.
And it's got a toon shader to it as well. A slight toon shader.
A little, yeah. But I think it's mostly because they don't want to get too real with it. They're more concentrating. They're more there about getting like the fluidity of the game rather than the actual realism to it.
It's got a Borderlands look to it almost.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
Maybe a little more enhanced, but I'm looking at it as that. Yeah, it's more like cartoony as opposed to more photorealistic visuals.
I mean, I can't say much more about Chivalry 2. Like that's just a bomb game no matter what. Like if you like crazy like battle royale game, and I'm not talking Fortnite battle royale, I'm talking like what's the word I'm looking for? Like arena battle royale, like the old Gladiator. Thank you, that's the fucking word I was looking for. Like Gladiator battle royale kind of stuff. It's just bunch of dudes just fucking running around slashing the shit out of each other. Do I need to sell you any harder than that? I don't think I do.
Yeah, probably not.
The last.
I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I did. Was the first one a first person game as well?
They've always been first person.
I just don't think a game like this works in a first person view.
Oh, you need to play the original then.
Yeah,
it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Next was
the last one before they started doing their interview stuff was the Waylanders, which they didn't show much of until they did the interview, but it basically just looks like a very strategic adventure game, almost like. I guess kind of like what like a Divinity Original Sin sort of is, and like your
I was gonna say
your like Diablo kind of stuff. It seems like they try to take more of a stance in terms of, because I'll talk about the interview as well just briefly. It seems like they're going in the route of like it's not just you playing one character. You can just play one character and let the AI do everything else. but you'll have 5 people, so you can actually like literally dictate how all 5 of them work together. So like you can have everybody in one like V-shaped line sitting there like in defense mode. So it seems like a much more strategic version of like what a Divinity or a Diablo would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool for that crowd. I'm not into those games generally speaking, so for me, it didn't do anything to convince me to get it. But I mean, it looks.
Does this kind of have a Warcraft 3 type of gameplay and feel to it?
I don't remember Warcraft 3, so I couldn't tell you.
No, because that's like an RTS game. It's more like Diablo. If you ever played it, is a good one. Torchlight.
Like Path of Exile.
Oh wait, what about Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
No, it's not a beat 'em up. It's not a beat 'em up. It's more.
It's definitely closer to that than Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I mean, but it's more of like a you hit button. Like I don't know if it is like a hack and slash sort of style, or if it is like you just point and they go do the work. I can't tell because they didn't really explain it that much in detail. And if they did, I glossed through a lot of this towards the end because I only had about 2 hours to watch this entire thing before the show, so yeah. I did skim a little bit. So if they did say the exact like way that it worked, then I missed that part. But I mean,
no, I don't think they did because I watched it and I didn't have to skim it or anything like that, and I don't remember them saying specifically.
But yeah, for that genre, it looks like something that crowd would be into. It's just again for me, like that's not my jam. So
yeah, I'm definitely into that genre. I'm currently playing Diablo 2 with our friend Kevin, and his brother, usually Tuesday nights, and like I mean that game is fantastic, and I just like love that style. So this is definitely one that caught my eye, but not like a day one purchase or anything. Like it looks like nothing special in that genre, just another thing in that genre that I'd probably get to eventually.
I don't think there's anything on this list that we'll go through that I'll even make a day one. It's more of like there's a couple where it's like, okay, I'm watching that price real quickly, but none of them are like, I need to get this fucking thing now. That doesn't happen.
There's one I would want day one, but only if you guys were also getting it day one.
I'm assuming I'm gonna get onto it next.
The next one we're about to talk about.
I am not going to get Second Extinction right away because I know the price will not be worthy of it. Not because I mean, if that was the case, we would have been playing Deep Rock Galactic already.
True.
Because we got to play that first.
That's true.
We still got to do that one, which as soon as that goes on a decent price, I'll be taking a look at that. But yeah, Second Extinction, obviously, as we talked about on the Xbox thing a while back, basically it seems like Left 4 Dead Horde mode with dinosaurs, which looks fucking amazing. It's the closest thing Vish is going to get to a Dino Crisis game, I think. Yeah,
it looks so good. It's like Turok meets fucking Left 4 Dead meets modern graphics.
Well, didn't Turok have a 4-player co-op mode at all?
It did, but I think it was you were shooting other people, not dinosaurs, if I remember.
Oh, what's the point of that then?
Because it was after GoldenEye, so it was like everybody just wanted GoldenEye again on N64.
I thought Turok came before.
Maybe I'm thinking Turok 2. I could be thinking Turok 2. It was one of the N64 ones. I remember there being some sort of multiplayer. But anyways, Second Extinction looks fucking fantastic. Every time I see that game, I want to play it. I want to play it so fucking bad.
Yeah, and
because it's a little more realistic than like super zombies. Like these raptors are gonna like they're gonna slaughter you. Like you have no.
It's still not a realistic thing. These raptors do have electroshock abilities too.
There's one point in there where I saw the raptors had like big hands and they would actually punch you as they ran up to eat you.
Yeah, they had like rock fists.
Yeah, they had rock fists. I was like,
so basically, dinosaurs took all the Marvel superpowers and now they're using them against us.
Yeah, one could teleport. One had electric powers.
Kick Puncher the Raptor.
Yeah, Kick Puncher. Yeah.
But yeah, like a couple of things they revealed in the interview. They said it's not just carnivore dinosaurs. You will get crazy, souped-up versions of like herbivore dinosaurs as well, which I'd love to see what like a Triceratops looks like in that game. He better be like a fucking Charger sort of character.
Yep. Or a bunch of those little guys that are from like Jurassic Park 2. They're like so small, but in great numbers. They like feed on something.
Yeah, but weren't they carnivores too?
Yeah, in the Lost World?
Yeah, in the Lost World. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those things, they're carnivores, but they were like the size of your hand, but you'd get overwhelmed by how many there are.
Yeah. They also said that there are going to be classes for it. I'm assuming. I don't know if it means that everybody has to pick one different class or if it's anybody can be the same class if they want. I don't think they went into that. They do have payloads on the map, so like I think you either can like load stuff onto a payload, maybe to protect stuff that you find, or you can call shit in. Whether it's they said there are certain things that you can call in, like even fucking airstrikes and shit if you want, if you really need to get out of a jam. And what I really liked is that apparently you can, if you're the host, so like usually it's me because I'm the one that's always wired in. I can pick where we start the game. So if I want to say, hey, do we want to do a little bit of exploring or doing some small shit before that, we can do that. Or we can just say, okay, fuck it, let's just do this mission and start right from the mission.
Is it almost like there's a co-op campaign?
They didn't get into that. It sounds like it's more like Left 4 Dead, but with just like missions that pop up. I don't know if there actually is like a structure to it, if there's like an end game, or if it's just, hey, just here's this and go fucking do this and try not to die.
Right? I feel like it was kind of like Borderlands or something where there's missions, but you can just run around and shoot people. You can do a co-op. Maybe you can
I'm just watching the video right now, and it looks like there was a spitter just now.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of spitters in that one.
Yeah. I found it interesting that it's another one of these games, though, that it's only 3-player co-op, not 4.
I mean, it works amazing for us, but
I mean, yeah, it works for us, but it's just
I like Kevin though.
Doing that.
No, we don't like Kevin. He always fucking survives Left 4 Dead games, and we don't.
True. Also, I don't know if Kevin will he'd have to get a new PC if he's gonna play it.
That's true. Mine ain't gonna handle that shit.
Yeah. This will probably be something we get on PlayStation.
I mean that's a ways away.
If it's
crossplay, is this going to
crossplay,
be available on PlayStation though?
Yeah, it will be.
I think it was on like PC, Xbox.
They mentioned next gen, so
yeah,
I would assume yes. I mean, there's a possibility it might be an Xbox thing because it did pop up in their thing. So
yeah, true.
You never know. But I mean, that's a problem to have later. You know?
Yeah.
That's future VCR issues.
Yeah. There was a brief thing in between this interview and the Metal Hellsinger interview where they showed this game called Rustler in brackets Grand Theft Horse. And that looked like, look, I want to be as nice to games as I possibly can. That looked like the kind of shit that Steam gets greenlit and shouldn't have been greenlit.
Yeah.
I watched that, like, it looked like Grand Theft Auto, like, 2, like the old top-down Grand Theft Autos, but medieval times. And if that was their trailer to show off the game, it looked fucking horrible. It looked boring.
Yeah, it did look boring. I was definitely bored of it.
I was like, man, you picked a bad piece of footage if this was your footage. Shit.
Was this the one where the characters' voices sounded weird?
Like,
yeah, like it sounded like they were just not putting.
I don't know if that was like supposed to be like jokey and like for fun, or if that was legitimately what they're gonna do. And I'm like, I mean, it was quirky for about the first 2 lines of dialogue, and then I realized, wait, if the whole game is this is not going to be that much fun.
Yeah.
But moving on to much more fun things, they did Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah, they did.
You can send pigeons on people.
Yeah, that is the different attacks they were having on people. Like the drunk guy takes a swig of alcohol and then lights it on fire as he spits it at somebody.
Yep. I love how they explain it. Like the main character just really loves Dragon Quest, so he's like delusional and thinks that everything is a JRPG. I'm like, that is so stupid. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's very meta. You're playing a game about a guy who's obsessed with a game, so he's making his life a game.
The one thing I will complain about it is that they repeated a lot of gameplay in that interview. There was a lot of repetitive footage that I'm like, guys, like, you should have put a little more into it. Like, just even have them just walking around the world, or maybe like cut back to the interviewers, or maybe just cut to like still imagery. Like they did the same battles like 5 times in that video.
What if it's a situation of less is more, where they're showing less?
That'd be fine, but I don't want to see the same battle sequence literally 5
times. I just saw the pigeon
thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I think they showed the pigeon thing only once. So I'm like, fuck, you could have showed the pigeon thing more than once. Yeah. There are certain battles in that video that they show like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, guys, I get it. Like, either cut back to the interview or fucking stop. Like, if you got nothing else, don't show me anything else.
Yeah, they should have just cut away from it. I think it's that they're getting their footing with this whole like digital live presentation.
Well, it seems like it was pre-taped. I think this was pre-taped, so that's why I'm kind of concerned.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, maybe it's just during the recording they had to figure out like what to throw in there.
Well, that's why I
don't
said
know.
just fucking go back to the interview, or like find a still image, or even just play like a trailer that already exists for it.
Yeah,
There's a lot
definitely
of options.
just go back to the interviewer and stuff.
But otherwise, there was some fun stuff that they mentioned in there. There's going to be kart racing, which sounds amazing in Yakuza form.
Yeah, what do they call it? Dragon cart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That'd be cool.
also said there is a business management aspect to the game as well, which I'm like, cool. They also show that there's a crawfish that you befriend named Nancy, I think was the name of the crawfish.
Yeah, like what?
And I'm like, I fucking love this game.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
funny.
the kind of shit that I'm like, oh man, this is what I love about it. The only thing that was interesting, and I don't know if...
Sorry.
Oh no, finish what you're saying, because I'm going to end off with this, so...
I'm just gonna say it looks like it's a lot more open world than the previous titles.
No, it looks
to be.
about the same. It's just now the battle sequences are going to be more JRPG than they would be beat 'em up.
Yeah, the battles are definitely different. They're just not button mashing and using
Like
your
what you're
finishing-
watching, Vish, is legitimately the game, but instead of them having this JRPG like turn-based system, it was just beat the shit out of them, like just go nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a real-time combat as opposed to turn-based?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one's turn-based, but the original ones were all real-time combat.
And people freaked out about it, but I think it makes sense
really?
because...
I thought it would be vice versa, but...
Well, what's happened here is that this game is a completely new arc. So the last game, Yakuza 6, is the end of the original main character's arc. So I guess they figured, okay, well, let's try to do something different than for a new character. They might go back to it if this doesn't go over well. I didn't see what it's like in Japan because I didn't want to read any reviews at risk of spoiling myself. So I don't know how it was received in Japan. I'm sure they'll take to it better than we would here because we're also a lot more picky here in the West for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's already out in Japan then?
Oh, yeah. Japan's always getting shit before us.
Yeah, they had it since, like, last year, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they had it in, like, the fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, well, because also, like, the Yakuza games, they've done a really good job of taking the time to localize it properly, which I appreciate, so I'll take any amount of time if it means it doesn't have really bad translation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that was weird,
A lot of it.
when they mentioned all the platforms, they mentioned PC, Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, and then stopped.
Yeah, they didn't mention PS5.
I don't
maybe
know if that
because
was
they-
a slip or if because like it's going to show tomorrow anyway, but
I think it's going to show tomorrow. I think it's that they couldn't confirm it earlier because then they go against the marketing contract they have made with...
it's just so weird because we already know that there are games coming out on PS5. You can literally pre-order a PS5 game already. I think it's what fucking game is it that you can pre-order on PS5 already?
Outriders?
Maybe it's that. I think it might be something else, but either way, it's not that important. But yeah, I just found that kind of weird. I know it doesn't really mean anything because there's no way it wouldn't be on PlayStation.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous. That was the main area it was on.
Also, we would know if the studio got bought out by Microsoft. We would fucking know by now. So
Yes. Especially if it's still PS4.
yeah, moving on. I was curious at first, and now I'm actually like really interested in what this thing is, Beyond Blue, which, if you remember Endless Ocean on the Wii, reminds me a lot of that.
Yep.
Like, almost like you're watching Beyond Earth, but in a video game form, like Under the Sea. Like, that looks really interesting. And it also seems to have like a bit of a story aspect to it, which I think is kind of nice too. So it actually could be like, that seems like a very chill game. That would be a nice rehab game by the looks of it.
The thing I noticed with that
like Echo the Dolphin.
I mean, but you're not playing a dolphin.
Yeah. The thing I noticed when it was starting, it said that they actually used footage from Blue Planet, that BBC series.
Yeah. So there may be a possibility that like either they've taken footage and then maybe like digitize it just a little bit and put a bit of like a filter on it to make it look more like the game.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting if that's what they did to have like the models for some of these wildlife. Like that'd be pretty interesting.
Or maybe for the imagery of what it looks like under, the ocean and everything to make it as accurate as possible.
Or maybe maybe there's just video content that you can access in the game that just shows footage. Like you don't know, right?
Yeah. And it was done by
Yeah. They should have had Megalodon in here.
I don't think that would fall into what it wants to do.
Yeah, I think
This actually looks quite therapeutic, and
it definitely looks like a legit rehab game.
Frankly, it honestly, they could have just made this as like even just like a live stream video on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something.
I mean, hell, if somebody will do a full gameplay thing of it, and you can just watch that on YouTube. There you go.
Yeah, there'll be a Let's Play. Yeah,
it looks very because it looks very therapeutic and relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
very
don't know
zen.
how I feel about it as a game, but
It would depend on the price. I don't think I would spend more than like $10 for it.
would not even spend that much on it.
Well, there are games out there like Gone Home and Tacoma and games of that ilk that are very like not that intense for gaming, but are just have really good story content to it. That would be the thing I'd be interested in is what's the actual like dialogue and story about this game? Because I mean, if it's just swimming around and seeing shit, I mean that's cool and all, but I need something else other than that. But it seems like they have some sort of like you can pick dialogue, so it seems like there is some sort of story to it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's just hard to tell. The next thing on the docket was Wasteland 3. I'm not familiar with those two games. I just looked at it as being like a top-down, sort of like Fallout-ish kind of looking game.
It's very much like Fallout, and I can't remember what the connection is. Something to do with Fallout 1 and 2, like the original ones. I don't know if it's that developers from the first Fallout games, before it was bought by Bethesda, went and also made Wasteland 1 and 2. I think there's some weird connection to the original Fallout games to Wasteland. So this third one is like now they're just starting it up again.
I mean, I've heard good things about the series. It's just, again like PC things I just don't get around to nearly as often.
Yeah, it's
Is
kind of
it
like
first-person series, or is it?
No, it's like a top-down.
top down. It's kind of like a Fallout and XCOM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got a lot of XCOM like
I
stuff.
mean, the only interesting thing that I saw, it seems like there's like 7 or 8 like different groups that you can allegiance yourself with. So it's like seems like a lot of like replay value to it, which is cool.
Oh yeah. And I love that the one group of people follows Ronald Reagan.
That one I was like, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, and he's like, and they will kill anyone who's a communist. And they think
Reagan
everyone's a
smash.
communist.
Reagan smash.
Yeah, it was, and it's just as ridiculous. There's a Reagan statue that comes alive and shoots lasers out of its eyes.
I'm like, okay,
Like-
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. The Wasteland games, they put a lot of effort into them, and this one, same.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's one of those games I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool looking. And maybe someday if there was ever a good price for it and I somehow didn't have a backlog, which God only knows what's going to happen as the months carry on because shit's going to get more announced as we go. So
Yeah.
the next one up, this is another one that I'm like, why is this in this thing? It was Pathfinder Kingmaker Definitive Edition. So here's the thing. They're like, okay, coming to consoles for the first time. And I went, okay, I need to pause this. One, I don't know what the fuck you are, so why should this be a big deal? If you're coming to console and you're making a big fuss about it, I should know what you are. And I don't. Yeah. And I'm usually pretty in touch with what PC is getting big with.
So this just looks like a Diablo type turn-based.
It looks like a mobile game to me.
Yeah,
it's very much, it's a PC game. It is quite popular on Steam. It's usually in their top 50 or 100 games. It's been around for a while though. So
maybe that's why I haven't heard of it, because it's a lot older.
Yeah, like I remember this being talked about like only a couple years after I'd built my first PC, like in the 2010s.
Oh, so we're definitely talking like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, like it is a fair bit older. It's kind of like just when they announced like a Need for Speed is coming to consoles for the first time, but it's like Need for Speed Paradise. And it's like, oh, okay, like Burnout Paradise. Like it's an older game, but they're bringing it over. Yeah. So it's kind of like if you're somebody who plays PC and you just happen to have wanted this on consoles, there's going to be a specific niche group that just freaked the fuck out because this game is coming to console.
Which to me is like, man, that doesn't seem like a lot of people are going to get this.
No, it won't be. Like, because a lot of console gamers who don't play PC have no idea what the fuck.
And they also would not be into this kind of game on a console. This doesn't feel like a game that would work on console very well to begin with.
Well,
yeah, no, Adam has a point. I find this is more of a very niche system, and it would actually better translate to online mobile gaming than it would for console gaming, because it looks dated, to be entirely honest.
Yeah. Well, it is a date, like it's a bit of an older game. And it's meant to, and it's meant to the Baldur's Gate games. It's meant to look and feel like that. It's definitely not meant to be a graphics game. It's meant to be like it's a Diablo. So if would it work on console? 100%. It'll work on console just like Diablo 3 works on console in the sense that they figured out how to do it with a controller instead of
But then the
keyboard.
question would become, does anybody want to get that when they already have Diablo?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's going to be this one niche market of people who already have this game on PC or wanted it, but always wanted to play with controller, which they'd have to mod and do it themselves maybe on PC. I don't know if it's got controller support. And it's like, finally, I can play this on my TV in my living room, multiplayer with 3 of my friends or something.
Yeah.
Like, that are all over on the couch. It's going to be something like that. Very niche market.
Okay, gonna try to run through a couple more of these a little bit quicker. The last one that we'll probably spend a tiny bit of time on is Demon Turf, because that one hurt my eyes the first time I saw it, and then when they did the interview, I went, oh, this actually looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the trailer that they showed, I'm like, this looks like it's, oh my god, my eyes are killing me, because it's like 2D in a 3D plane. I'm like, this looks like Bubsy 3D. Why?
Yeah.
and then they had the interview and they showed a lot more of it. I'm like, oh, okay. This does not look
it's a lot
nearly as
more.
bad as I thought.
It's a lot less jarring when you're actually just playing the game. Yeah, that trailer was all over the place. All over the place.
At least with the interview, they showed a lot more cooler things, like the racing thing that it has, where you like turn into this like I guess like wheel almost.
Yeah.
And you go nuts. Like some of that stuff looked pretty cool, and I also like the quirkiness to it. It almost seems like a Adult Swim like Mario game in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely looked
Yeah,
cool,
Adult
except-
Swim Mario 64. That's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
It's almost got
That's-
like the original SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom sort of graphic style to it.
Yep. Which just got a remaster.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Okay, I see the racing thing. She turns into a wheel.
Yeah, she basically turns into a tire and goes nuts. Like, it looks fucking sick. Also, I love the fact that like when she stops, like there is like that actually like almost like the Sonic like slowly coming to a stop pose sort of deal. Like her feet dragging in. Like, I actually looked at that animation. That animation looks really good. Like as soon as they went to the interview section where they showed a lot more in detail, I'm like, wow, the animation on this game is really good.
Yeah, I find like I understand the visual style of that they're doing with it, but it's quite choppy.
I think it's meant to be.
Yeah, I get that. I just
like I said, it's one of those things. The first time I saw it, I'm like, ooh, that looks ugly. And then when they showed more of it, I'm like, you know what? I think once I adjust to it, it would be like I'd be more concerned with the gaming, and it actually looks like a really fun to play game. From what I saw,
I think it seemed also very zoomed in at points during the trailer.
Yeah.
And I think that if it's something where it's a little more zoomed out when you're actually playing, it'll feel.
Yeah, I mean, most of what we're seeing in these things are like pre-alpha, so.
Yeah.
if it's a little wider of a view, it actually may not.
I mean, I'm sure on PC you can field of view it anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly hammer through a bunch of these then, so because I want to spend at least like 10 to 15 minutes on tomorrow's things. So, Dual Universe basically to me looked like another EVE Online, but a little more action based than EVE is, like just crazy epic space battles. I mean, look neat, but again, it's one of those things that I'm like, okay, that might need a lot of people, and that's also trusting a lot of people to do their job on a ship.
Yeah.
And I don't. that's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know if I trust like one person next to me, let alone like 20.
I mean, I think it would be kind of fun to be on there and you got, 3 people that are just.
I mean,
not
look,
doing their
if we
job or
have like thousands of fans and we could actually have our own crew, that'd be pretty sweet. But just the 3 of us, I don't know how that would go.
Yeah.
I
think it'd be fun, but I don't know if I'd buy it.
They showed off a 4K remaster of the original Observer game, which is like this crazy like sci-fi horror thriller.
Yeah, that looked fucking.
Sorry, to go back to Dual Universe, it looks like it's a, it's kind of like Descent. It almost looks like that spaceship first-person shooter spaceship game.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And what was the game you were just mentioning? Sorry,
Observer System Redux, basically like just a remaster of an older like psychological like horror that's kind of set in like a cyberpunk era.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy.
It's it's Cyberpunk 2084, the horror game.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Oh boy, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah. The original game, like it's because it's on Steam and stuff, and I've always seen it. I'm like, I'm never playing this. I'm not the type of person that's probably going to enjoy this because it's a little over the top.
I saw it get speedrun and it looked interesting.
Yeah. And then I saw this Redux, or however you say that word, and Jesus Christ, like it's horrifying. holy shit. Like, I kind of want to try it just because it's that horrifying. I'll play it for 5 minutes. There's no way in hell I'm getting farther. There's no way.
They briefly did some Borderlands 3 DLC stuff. Now there was one like there wasn't that much to note about it because I'm not deep in, haven't played Borderlands 3, so I couldn't really tell you much beyond it. The one thing that seemed interesting to me and then also weary at the same time was they offer a level boost so that they get you to the point in the story where you can go to different planets. To which I went, okay, but if you're a first time player, why would you want to skip that?
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, I've never understood. I'm assuming those players exist and they probably complain and that's why they have to throw it in there. But yeah, why would you buy a game
and not want to play some of the game?
Yeah, you immediately want to go into this one DLC mission, which is later in the story.
That's a little
weird. It would have
weird.
to be like your friends are doing it and they've been playing for 6 months.
Then find better friends who will get you to that point.
Yeah, and they're just like not willing to help you. They're like, nah, either you fucking join us on this DLC or you're not coming.
Well, then don't be a bitch. Play the game.
Yeah, it's definitely like they might as well call this DLC option to upgrade the asshole friend pack.
Yeah,
where you pay, or you get this free upgrade because your friends are assholes.
Bitch, be crazy.
Other than that, there's 4 more things left in here. They showed the Rift Breaker, which looked like what would happen if Contra and StarCraft had a baby.
Oh, yeah. That looks so fun.
Yeah, that did look fun.
That looked pretty interesting. There is Get the Fuck Out, or GTFO, which looked like a horror Left 4 Dead, which I said, I'm going to hate myself, but I feel like we should play that when it goes on sale. Because that looks like Left 4 Dead, but actually scaring the shit out of me.
What's it called, Adam?
It's called GTFO.
It's perfect. The name is perfect. That's what it is.
Like, it legit looks like Silent Hill had a Left 4 Dead baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, and my God.
They closed the one door, or the big door between hallways, and then they all went and like got ready because they knew eventually.
And they show like the Predator sort of thing that shows you how many things are about to come through that door, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That looks terrifying.
It looks terrifying, but awesome. Like, I want to.
Just waiting for it to load because this sounds like something I will both love and hate at the exact same time.
Like I said, that's a game that I want to play and also hate myself for wanting to play because it's going to scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah. It's a first-person shooter, right?
Yep.
I'm looking at it.
Like, do you guys remember Fear?
I don't.
First-person shooter Fear.
Yeah. I haven't played it, but I know.
It looks like horde mode Fear.
Yeah, Fear, but like co-op.
Like that was a really, like, I hate being scared, but that game was fucking good. I played all 3 of them. Really Fear games were legit good. Like they had a little bit of jump scary to them, but they were also really decent shooters too.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I've seen like a lot of gameplay about it just because it's so popular.
You also get laid in that game, which is interesting.
Interesting.
The girl from the first game, she gets older and then she rapes you. Yeah, that was an interesting twist in one game.
What?
You get put in like sort of like you like pass out or get put in like a stasis or something, and you just see her like on top of you completely naked, and you're like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden it cuts back in, and you see her with like she's already like fully pregnant, and you're like, oh, I just created a demon baby.
Hang on, I just have to go to Steam and buy something real quick.
Sorry to go off topic.
It better be quick. We're already way behind here.
I won't be quick. I watched The Big Lebowski.
Oh my God, you and your fucking tangents.
That was the weirdest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Okay, we're moving on. I don't want to fucking even know. I don't want to know. I don't know what this has to do with anything.
I don't know.
The fear was weird. This was weird.
Chick sleeps with the guy so she can get pregnant without him knowing, and it's like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. I just want to be pregnant. I would just want a kid. It was just so fucking weird.
I'm gonna learn to never talk about a girl raping you anymore because Vish is just gonna make another random tangent next time.
I mean, it's a touchy subject to begin with, so.
The last 2 things on the list, we had Mortal Shell, which looked like another Souls game. I mean, that's about the gist I can say to it. The only thing I will say is that interview, they should not have had 4 people on because everybody kept talking over each other. It was awkward several times in that interview.
I noticed that during some of the IGN stuff, not with how many people it is, but sometimes there
were some awkward interviews.
Yeah, it was pretty awkward. Some people were just like they didn't know what to say, and then they'd finally say something, but somebody almost spoke over them.
Like, I know it's COVID, guys, but your marketing person should be available.
Yeah, like just send the marketing person or whoever's good at speaking. Like send them.
And then the last thing was Void Train, which I put in my notes. What the fuck is this game? Is it a first-person shooter? Is it a platformer? Is it a train building exercise? I don't fucking know anymore.
Well, even Mortal
it looks
Shell.
like all of the above. Void Train. What genre is it? Everyone.
I assume it's the hoary, fucking weird version of Spirit Tracks, where Zelda goes into the void with the spirit train, and then they drive on the train.
And they shoot stuff.
And they shoot this grappling hook because it's the hook shot. Oh my god, it's the hook shot. Yeah, no, it's just Zelda. It's a Zelda game.
No, it's definitely not Zelda. But yeah, that was the first one. Did I leave like
anything about Void Train online?
It was a very brief thing at the end.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I will say I didn't necessarily enjoy their format. I thought that they could have condensed this a lot more.
Yeah, it was really, really...
Not to mention, if they're only going to do 3 days of this, with how much shit they did, why couldn't they just do, like, a month of this? Like, spread it out to, like, concentrate on 4 things today. And just half an hour, concentrate on those 4. It seemed like it was a bit of a mess. Like... And I'm assuming the other 2 days are going to be like that, which is sad because a lot of games are getting lost in the shuffle here. Like most of these games, unless like they stood out, like Demon Turf would stand out. Metal Hellsinger probably stood out a lot, but for some of these games, like you're going to forget about them because they got lost with 15 others.
Yeah, I mean this has kind of always been a problem with E3 too, when you think about it, because you watch the PlayStation, Xbox, EA conferences and stuff like that, and these. Developers.
But a lot of these games have AAA to them, so they'll have the marketing power. These are a lot of indie games that just got lost.
Yeah, like normally these are at E3, but you just read about them in the news. Like people would go and they would play the game.
So I mean, it's cool at the same time, but like, they could have definitely done more than 3 days, which seems to be what they're doing. They could have done like weeks of this.
Yeah. Well, I saw that. I can't remember which game it was that was mentioned, but. I saw on there, I think I got an email. Oh, no, it was in my video game news. It was like, oh, come check us out. We will be at IGN Expo day 1. We will be at the Guerrilla Collective day 2. And we will be up here in the, PlayStation. It wasn't a PlayStation one, but it was one of the other ones. I can't remember what it was. Like Indie Showcase, blah.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these are going to appear multiple times over all of these events.
Yeah.
It's also... They want to be the first so they can be like, oh, I saw it on IGN. Oh, I saw it on IGN. Oh, I saw it on IGN. It just plain simple, more exposure, more traffic they're trying to garner.
I just think it was a little too long, and they can definitely like spread this out a little bit more. I think 3 days because let's assume that it's the same thing for day 2 and day 3. That's a lot of games that you could have done over the span of like a couple of weeks rather than 3 days. Yeah. Especially if it's just video content, like you're just putting an editing video together, like this isn't that hard, guys.
Yeah, they could have done a day of all the trailers and just had like a 2-hour long stream and then did all the interviews after with all of them again.
I would have rather they just like put it down like just okay, let's say we're gonna do two trailers, 2 interviews, 2 demos, and just be like an hour at most. Really take some time with some of these things and be done with it, so that way. When we come to a day, you're like, okay, well, there's this, there was this, there was this, there was this, there was this, and there is this. So it's at least then, like, we could have spent a lot more time on some of these games, and it just doesn't make any sense because if we did, we would be a 4-hour podcast, which we do not want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, and wait until next week when there's been 3 more days of IGN.
Yeah, next week is going to be us picking what we want to talk about because there is no way we're going to get all of that in one show.
Guerrilla Collective, the PC.
Even if I said we weren't doing our intro, we would still have way too much to do.
Yeah, there'll be a lot. We would have to cut out our intro or make it like 5 minutes a piece.
No, we'd have to cut out the intro. We'd still be 3 hours minimum.
Yeah.
Or just like do it in point form.
So tomorrow we will have the PS5 reveal event.
Yeah.
So in preparation, it's starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to somehow turn off social media for about 3 hours.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
I'm finished work at 4 p.m. tomorrow, so...
You guys are not watching this until we all see it together, so tough shit.
I think Vishal's saying we can do our podcast earlier instead of
I would
waiting
assume
until-
that was not going to happen to you guys because you guys normally eat later. That's why I was figuring it was going to
Yeah,
happen to you all the time.
Dude, I 4 p.m. I'm good.
I'm not off work till 5.
Yeah.
Maybe. This week has not been kind to me. But what I wanted to do in preparation for tomorrow's show is to... Oh, I think the storm's happening outside.
I've been watching it. It is insane.
I just suddenly heard the rain coming down. I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. That's the other thing I was worried about. We were told we were going to get crazy thunderstorms out here, so I'm like, shit, I hope my podcast doesn't go down.
Yeah. No, like I'm on the 17th floor and my whole wall is actually just windows.
The battery on your laptop lasts about, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, that's a thing to worry about. But yeah, so what I want to do in preparation is to give you guys a bunch of yes or no questions. We're not going to talk any deeper in it because obviously we have literally less than 24 hours to deal with it. So I'm going to pose a question. You just tell me yes or no, and I'm going to be very specific. So start with the biggest elephant in the room. Do you think we get some form of a PS5 reveal? Like I'm talking like we actually see the fucking thing.
Yes.
Well,
I think yes.
Itself, or
I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything else, just we're going to see what it looks like in some way. Whether it's a half second or a full thing. Just, are we going to see it?
Yes. Me personally, I think yes. Very brief, but yes.
Tomorrow is a PS5.
We don't. It sounds like it's a game showcase, but I'm wondering. It's 2 hours.
Well, I think they are going to give a glimpse of it. Maybe a silhouette or something.
Now I'll add more to it. Do you think we'll actually get a lot more about it, including more specs, more of the UI, and even a release date and price point?
No.
My answer is no. I don't think we're getting that deep.
No, I think it's a game showcase with a brief thing maybe at the end.
That will be revealed in the fall, close to the holiday season.
It better not be that late because if we're going to pre-order this thing, we better know by like July, end of July. We better know when this thing's coming.
I'm telling you, like Chris and I have both worked at Best Buy. They don't reveal this information until like almost last second.
I think they usually do at E3 when they do the conference.
And this is about to be where my rant is. Sony, I am accepting that you are not going to show us everything. If you do not show this fucking console tomorrow, you failed. Because it is June 11th that day. E3 would have been on its last day. Are you telling me that at E3 you still wouldn't have shown that PS5? Because you fucking would have.
Yeah, they would.
So don't rob your fan base. I know that E3 is supposed to be for businessmen, but by about this point, you had the PS4 was revealed. You even showed a trailer, I think, in May of that year. Just to briefly say it's coming, and then you actually showed it in June. Show us at least the damn console.
Oddly enough, Sony had backed out of E3 again this year before E3 was canceled.
So that would tell you June was probably going to be when they show it. So I want to assume that they're going to show more than just a picture of it, but I'm kind of hesitant still.
I'm thinking there's going to be a picture. Or like a video. Obviously, it's all online anyways.
Like, I really wish that they would go further. Like, I'm not saying everything. I don't say you have to go into the create function and shit like that. But fuck. Show me the console and show me what it'll look like when you're in the main menu and picking shit. Like, give us that. I know it won't.
I honestly think that they won't reveal any release. Like, the release date won't come until late fall.
If it's late fall, fuck them. That's stupid.
Yeah,
if we're talking like October, that's stupid.
And this is the thing where my professional experience comes in. It's just plain and simple to create hype, to create the desire for it. And
then why do we pre-order games years in advance?
I get that. And this is nothing to do with, because I don't work for Sony and for PlayStation or anything, but I know how marketing is manipulative. That's what marketing is. It's to manipulate people. For example,
we already know how many copies they're going to ship, so why the fuck does the date matter?
I get that.
They literally said how many they're going to build by the holiday launch. So why worry about the date? You know how much you have. There's no hype.
They're creating more exposure, more experience, because here's the thing.
For what? A console that not everybody can buy?
I get that, but Adam, what they're doing it to create more exposure and to get more people talking about it. Because
What's exposure?
because people are going to be pissed off as shit about it. Being like, oh man, I wanted my fucking PS5 already. Why isn't it out yet? People are still going to be talking about it. Then people are going to think, oh, you know what? I was thinking of buying a PS5 as well. It works, and this is the type of...
I don't accept this behavior. I don't care if it works. I don't accept it.
But this is what they'll do. This is what happened.
I don't accept that shit. That's so stupid, because your customer base is always going to be there.
I think I know.
They will still do it, though. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
What I think is going on, because last console reveal, which was, I think, 2012 or 2013, whichever one it was, Xbox and PS4, both at E3, announced their systems, what it would do, showed the systems, announced the prices. I don't remember date, but I do remember.
But that's what annoys me, is that if they don't do the full thing here, it's like, guys, we had a formula. Why the fuck are we deterring from it now?
Yeah. And I think what happened is, last time, Xbox went first. Because of that, Sony had even just a couple hours or a day to basically win the console.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Microsoft's shown this thing months in advance. We've known about what the console is since January, I think.
Yeah.
Sony, it's June.
Yeah, so what I think Sony was waiting for was for Xbox to go first. Xbox revealed the console. They've shown it. They've talked about it. But of course, there's no date, no price yet. And I think Xbox is like, screw that. We're not going to go first because we saw what happened last time. We're going to let Sony go first.
You
and
motherfuckers, quit your pissing contest, for fuck's sakes.
Well, no, this is marketing, because I think if Sony releases a price, Xbox might look at the price and go, screw it. We have, Windows 10's money. We're going to make it $100 cheaper or something. Like, they may actually...
I don't fuck.
They might, because they have a lot... Like, Microsoft has a shit...
Well, no, the reason I'm saying that is because it already sounded like Sony was going to be the lower one. Like, even from, like, original thoughts, like, they were going to be below anyway.
Yeah, and it's because Xbox is theoried to have two. It's come out a lot. In the
There's
new
a rumor
Windows,
that Sony might have a 2 terabyte and a 1 terabyte version as well.
Yeah. Well, the Xbox Series S, they're calling it, and Xbox Series X would actually be two different, not just, like, hard drives, but power-wise. The Series S would be weaker than the PS5, where the Series X is slightly more powerful. So, like, the PS5 is supposed to be in the middle. And they're thinking, this is all rumor, obviously, and hearsay, but like if Microsoft is like, screw it, we're going to make the Series X either the same price as the PS5 or even cheaper, and we'll take a hit, and then the Series S will take even more of a hit, we'll have a better chance of pulling back some of our customers that basically we lost last generation. So everybody's thinking that Sony... Now, I don't know why they wouldn't reveal the console. That's stupid. That just worries me.
If we legit finish that video and there's no console reveal, I'm legitimately going to spend the next hour of that stream fuming.
Yeah, it worries me in the sense like maybe they haven't even finished the design of it or something.
Apparently, it started production.
Oh, okay, yeah. So then there's no reason. I have no idea. But I think they're holding back on the price because of that. They're hoping Xbox goes first.
I can understand the price and the release, fine, whatever. But show me the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, don't just show me a picture of the fucking thing. Show me everything about the fucking thing. I want to see the UI. I want to see a little bit more than just a picture. That's unbelievably ridiculous for June. I don't care about any marketing bullshit. As a customer, if I'm going to be spending this much money, because the rumor price for it is not going to be cheap. Yeah, if I'm putting this much money towards something, I want to know ahead of time what the hell I'm walking into. And at this point in this journey, June's getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyways, I didn't want to go on a tangent. We ended up going on a tangent because, of course, we did. So I'm going to put a bunch of games out there, and you guys tell me if it'll be there or not. I think the easiest one to say yes to is, will there be a Horizon 2? I think yes.
I think yes, for sure.
I think it's going to be a launch title, too. That's how far I'm taking it.
When did Horizon come out?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's had a few years.
2016?
I think they've specifically been holding it back for PS5.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Bless you. Got the Rona.
I'm assuming the sneeze means yes.
I don't think so, to be entirely honest.
You're going to be so fucking wrong. That is the easiest bet. That is legitimately the easiest bet. Then do we think there'd be here's one of the crazier ones. Do you think there'd be a God of War 2 announced?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
not yet. That's gonna be definitely.
I
weighted.
think yes, but it won't be anything deep. I think it'll just be a like a logo.
Maybe a teaser trailer.
No, not even that. Like literally just like bare bones like logo. Like just to be like, hey guys, we're making it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be there, but yeah, if it would definitely just be like a logo.
Spider-Man 2.
No. I think they're banking on that for later.
Yeah. I think they're gonna wait until like things get back to normal with the MCU and stuff gets announced, and then they're gonna announce Spider-Man 2.
See, I say yes as well on that one.
I think
My
theory is that
I say yes, but I don't necessarily know if that means Spider-Man. It could be something else.
Like a Miles Morales game or something. Like
not even Spider-Man related. Like could be a whole nother property. Like they could be doing something else for all I know. I would assume
Marvel
Spider-Man 2 would come first, but they could always do something else too. Like we just had an Iron Man VR, so for all we know, they could be working on something else too.
Like the Daredevil game that everybody got all.
There's that too. There's that
So you could, so instead of Spider-Man 2, you could be essentially saying a Marvel.
It could
game.
be a cap game for all. Like I say the likelihood would be Spider-Man 2, but I think something Marvel related will pop up.
Okay.
Interesting.
Marvel related, yes, I would agree with that.
Not including the Avengers game.
No, not including Square's thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cheating.
Let's do some more revival stuff. Do you think we'll see a new Resistance or Killzone?
No.
Oh, God.
I think cool. I think one of the two. Yes, I would say Killzone more likely than Resistance. Resistance has been gone for a while.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see a Killzone come back because Killzone seems to always have a new game right in time for a new console.
Yeah.
What about Infamous? Another Infamous. Infamous 3, basically.
Was there already third Infamous?
I mean, technically that's Second Son, but
Third Son.
Because on Infamous 2, I thought was awesome.
Second Son was pretty good too.
Yeah.
So
that's a tough one. I'm not sure about that one because Sucker Punch I think is doing other stuff too. Or it's not. No, it's not Sucker Punch, is it? Am I mixing up my games again?
They were both on the PS3, right?
Wait, Insomniac? No, it's Sucker Punch. Yeah, Sucker Punch is who's making
Sucker
Ghost
Punch.
of Ghost
yeah,
of
so Sucker Punch is probably busy still. So they might tease something, but I would say no. Unless they have a separate team working on it, I would say no. Unless the maybe it's a remaster.
Maybe. It would make sense for a new one to be a launch title because the last one was very close to launch, and it's been a long time since there's been a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go off the board. What about Final Fantasy 16? Because that is a rumor.
I wish, but no. I can't say yes because my heart will hurt too much.
That is one I'm on the fence on because that would be a big impact.
That would be a huge impact.
It would also be the most Square thing to do when they're also working on other shit and they're like, yeah, here's another gigantic project. It's going to take us 5 years to do.
Square doesn't have its own conference, does it?
No, not that
See, they normally do at E3, like they did last year. They had their own one.
Or maybe,
so if they did,
maybe they talk about the release date for Final Fantasy Remake #2 for like the second part. They could also do that. I also am wondering if they do Kingdom Hearts because there's also been enough time in between Kingdom Hearts 3 that they might announce a new game for it.
Well, there is a new game coming out for it. That's why it's mobile. Yeah. And that's why I feel like they've put all their Kingdom Hearts money into mobile right now for that one game. So I don't know if they'd announce another one at the same time.
It's tough to say.
Kingdom Hearts 3, didn't it just come out last year?
Yeah, but they also spent like so much time working on it. They could definitely announce some other side.
Yeah, they announced it because it's 9 years away.
Yep,
and they're
it's
like,
okay.
Hey,
they can pull up Bethesda. It'll come out fucking this decade, maybe.
Elder Scrolls 6, the logo. Fuck.
Here's a random one. Do you think they'll make a new Crash Bandicoot or Spyro?
Well, I don't think so. Like Sony specific, no. Activision, because is that who owns it right now?
I think
so.
Yeah, I think Activision owns Crash Bandicoot. I don't know if that's who owns Spyro. I think there'll be another Crash Bandicoot, but it'll be like all platforms and everything. Kind of like the Spyro trilogy.
Yeah, I don't know if there would be like another one. I don't know if we go that far.
I don't know. I feel like
Is it possible? Of course, it's possible. But
I'd actually want a new Spyro between the two.
well, this is the one that Sony has control over. What about a new Ratchet?
Ratchet and Clank. Is that no? That's not Naughty Dog. That was Jack and Daxter, right?
I can't
Which one did
remember.
Naughty Dog make? Fuck. Because Naughty Dog came out and said their next game is either going to be The Last of Us 3 or a brand new IP. There's no other franchises they're currently working.
Insomniac was Ratchet and Clank, so it's probably Jack and Daxter.
Okay, so Insomniac, who makes Spider-Man, is Ratchet and Clank. I could see them making another Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it was Naughty
because-
Dog for Jack and Daxter.
Yeah, I could see a Ratchet and Clank because Insomniac is now owned by Sony, and they'd probably, after Spider-Man, what have they been working on? Probably not another Spider-Man yet. They probably want to do one other game before Spider-Man. My money's on Ratchet and Clank. Yes. Yes. That's my theory.
And the last one that I can think of something notable would be an old game that people have been clamoring over and over again to get brought back because it hasn't been around for a while. SOCOM.
SOCOM was so good. I hope so. Yes. Yes.
I mean,
That's a hope.
I think it's a guarantee Gran Turismo 7 will be there because they always need a racing game to show off the hardware. That's just the rule.
Fuck you, Gran
Or
Turismo.
Gran Turismo 7. There hasn't been a 6 yet.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
Oh, Gran Turismo 5 is on the PS4, not 6.
And there's a GT6.
Is there 2 on PS4?
There's
Gran
no
Turismo 6 was 2013.
No, Gran Turismo 6 does not exist.
Yes, it does. Gran Turismo 5 was
I'm
PS3
sorry.
in 2010.
I'm thinking Grand Theft Auto.
Jesus
I apologize.
Christ, Fish.
Oh, yes.
Somebody get
Well,
this man
I've
some
got
help.
I've
Holy
got one. Do you think we'll see that Skyrim is being ported to PS5? Because
Yes.
Skyrim is on fucking Alexa speakers. Obviously, it is going to be on PS5. And I actually bet you there's going to be a brief trailer tomorrow showing Skyrim is coming to PS5. Like slightly upgraded graphics or like up to 4K or whatever. But like still the same game with a polish coming out on PS5.
Yeah.
And Xbox.
Sorry.
I'm just reading through Reddit now, so I'm going to throw up a bunch of random ones that I've just been seeing now because people have been like making their own like fun guesses. I think we get Twisted Metal back.
Oh, Twisted
That's
Metal.
actually what I was going to.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great launch title for the PS5.
Yep. That would be. That would get me very.
Now I got the two biggest ones on this list. Okay, hold on. So for starters, let's start with the second biggest potential one. You think we get a new Uncharted with their daughter now taking over?
No. I don't
No,
think Uncharted is coming back for a while.
And Naughty Dog said that they said their next game is going to be either Last of Us 3 or a new IP. I think they're done with Uncharted for a while.
Yeah.
And then okay, but I gotta get the biggest one. Ready? Knack 3D.
Oh, please, yes.
What 3D?
Knack 3, basically.
Wait, was there a Knack 2?
Yeah.
Knack. I don't.
It's
I-
okay.
I-
It's okay. It's a joke. You don't have to know what it is.
Okay.
Knack is the PS4 like launch title.
Oh, that piece of shit.
Wait, 3. Is there 2 Knack games?
Yes.
Were they both on PS4?
Yep.
What's the second one called?
Knack 2.
Ew, that's fucking gross. Why'd they make another one? I had no idea. Again, I don't have a PS4, but also like that's something I would avoid like the plague.
And
Like,
then
what's the fun?
last but not least, we got a couple minutes before I want to take this off, so I'll give you guys. You get one game, one dream announcement.
Oh, why you do this to me? Huh. One dream announcement. I mean, I can think of a couple, but we've already said them on the show. You know, like Chrono Trigger 3.
Well, then there you go. There it is.
If Square was to do anything big and they'd put it on Sony's console, like that would be holy fuck. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake graphics and just Chrono Trigger 3, but like also give like the same colors and like awesome art style and everything of the Chrono series, fuck yeah, that would be. I think I'd die. I'd probably die.
You got one, Vish?
I'm sure you guys have heard me say it many times. Dino Crisis reboot or Legend of Dragoon.
I figured Dragoon was going to be one that you'd say too.
Oh, Legend of Dragoon, yeah. And that's even more realistic. That's a lot more realistic because that was a Sony game.
Yeah.
The one that I'm going with here, and this isn't a major thing because there was nothing that they could come out with like without me thinking about. Like, this is spur of the moment, right? There is a rumor about a certain game coming to PC and that we probably are going to find out on Saturday. Which, by the way, I plan to do a video of the PC game show as well. I'm not sure if I'll stream that or not. I'm kind of on the fence on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I'm going to be watching.
I obviously am a big Persona guy, so I might as well say it. There's a rumor that Persona 4 Golden is going to come for PC, which would be amazing. I don't think it's early enough for Persona 6 to be a thing. So what I would think would be really neat as like a cool thing would be for them to say, hey, we're going to bring Persona 3 and 4 back remastered to PS5. That would be my cool thing, to go back and play the older ones in a much more like better graphic system.
What about a Persona collection like 1 through 4?
I mean, that'd be cool, but if it's not remastering anything, I don't care because the first 2 Persona games I've tried to play and I can't get into them.
Maybe they wouldn't remaster all of them and make it a collection. They'd get their money and
like just fresh coat of paint for 3 and 4, or even just one of them. Like just pick one. I don't care. Both of them are pretty good.
Well, if 4 does end up coming to PC, it would be super easy for them to take what they're doing for PC, up it to like 4K and take everything and throw it on PS5. So honestly, that's probably the most realistic one that would show up.
Yeah, because I mean, otherwise, I would just say, well, fuck it. Let's just go to the biggest thing of all, Madden NFL Blitz.
Oh,
okay, yes. Oh my god!
I knew if I gave it the extra second, they would be like, "Oh, come on!" Oh,
yeah, I'd be on board.
Like, okay, if I'm gonna get banned, you get to get fucking banned for that. As
but
well.
I made a good one. I made a good one though.
You redeemed yourself. Okay. Here's the thing: the NBA Jam remake that came out for the PS3, the online store, was awesome because it was NBA Jam.
Yeah.
So why not do NFL Blitz or a NHL game like that? Because they're just fun as shit. They're fucking games. They're just the arcade. They're fun. They're not, because the funny thing is I saw an article where they said EA extending their contract with NFL to create more sport simulators.
Yep.
Simulators, not games. Simulators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't even call them games because they know. They know.
Yeah. So why not? Like, because frankly, you would get casual, like, or you know what? Not even the.
You get people that don't even give a shit about the sport play those games because they're fun.
Yeah. I hate the NFL, but I love NFL Blitz.
Okay, so not even just the fact of NFL Blitz and NBA Jam. If you brought back the street games, because those were
NBA and FIFA Street, NHL Hits.
Yeah. And they can do a smaller team to work on the more arcadey styles. You can still do both.
And you know what? You don't. I would say keep the teams, but you don't have to keep the players. Like,
no. He means like a smaller like production team.
Yeah, like I mean, like the devs making the games, they can still make the big Madden 2021.
You could get a small team to fucking make a little arcade game. It wouldn't be that hard.
Team and make
you give them. All you have to do is give them an engine and just be like, go have fun like come back in 2 years. We'll see what you got.
No, I've seen when I went to college the first time. I've seen the process of making video games because that was a part in the school I went to, and it's not as simple as it seems.
Fish, do you remember Bright Memory Infinite that we watched the first game on the Xbox One?
No, I do not.
It was an amazing AAA looking shooter game, and one person made it.
Yeah, one person.
You get the right people in there, you can make a lot of good things with a small team. Especially if you got money, because EA's got a lot of money.
Possibly, because with what's it called? That one game we saw at EGLX one time, Omen of Sorrow. It was that fighter with all the classic villains.
That was a small studio.
Yeah, but those guys like tortured themselves, which you know what I
That's
respect.
why
that.
EA can make it work, because you pay your employees better.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they do.
Yeah, that's like hopefully is the correct term.
They have to talk about Madden all day.
Exactly.
Well, if it's NFL Blitz, it's not that bad to talk about, is it?
No, see, I'd talk about that.
So that's what if you brought back those fun arcade sports games like
Oh, it would work.
Hot Shots, like NFL Blitz, like NBA Jam, and NHL Hits, you said?
Yep.
Adam?
Yes. Yeah, I remember talking about Street.
Adam, you still there,
Can you
dude?
guys not hear me? I'm clearly coming through here.
Oh,
would
you came back. You
Okay.
cut out for a bit.
Unless Discord was fucking with me, because my audio was way high.
Oh, okay. It was fucking with us. What was the NHL one you said?
NHL Hits.
Okay.
Okay.
Those ones, if you can bring those back, I think you have a huge fucking market, because you'll have casual sports gamers who don't give a fuck, like the three of us, who will be like, yo, this shit was awesome back in the day. Let's play this again. And you know what? Now with online capabilities, that would be even better.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, tomorrow we're gonna get together and we're gonna watch it. Well, we're not gonna watch it live. We're gonna watch it as soon as we're all getting together to do this stuff.
Yeah, a couple hours out.
I'm hoping to as soon as I shut this thing off, I'm gonna go edit this fucker and try to get it up for tomorrow, and then hopefully Friday you guys will get the PS5 reveal. Like I said, Saturday I'm hoping to do the PC game show. I might do the future gaming show that's right after it. I'm not sure. It depends on what I think is gonna happen there.
Yeah. And there's the Gorilla Collective before that.
Yeah, that one I won't go for.
There's
I'll
so
maybe
many.
talk
So many
about it if there's something cool.
Saturday's an intense day for this.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's pretty crazy. So
I'm gonna just have to set up on the couch and give her.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Hopefully everything runs fine for tomorrow, because that's the one that is gonna be a hell of a lot more important. Because as Jeff Keighley keeps fucking telling me, and I want to smack him for stop hyping me, because I don't want it. I don't want to be this hyped. I'm impatient. But he's like, this could be a special event, and I'm like,
Of course, it's gonna be special. It's the new
of course
console.
it'll be a special event. Don't fucking hype me anymore, Jeff. It's killing me. Stop it, please. I can't take it
he's
anymore.
gonna keep going. He's gonna keep going.
I can't take it.
Mr. Markham, Ontario. He's gonna keep going.
I can't turn off social media my entire shift. I'll have nothing to fucking do.
Besides work.
Yeah, how dare I?
Yeah, you just have to work. You only have to worry up until 4:00. It's only your last hour.
Yeah, I know. Then I gotta get home and completely avoid like looking at any YouTube or whatever, just in case somebody spoils it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't look at YouTube.
That's the thing. I basically am gonna have to I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna boot up my computer. I'm gonna have literally the link to the stream, and then I'm probably gonna go fucking do like a workout or something just to keep me away from fucking screens for like another hour.
That's a good idea. That's a real good idea.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. So thank you so much for checking us out here. I don't even have to tell you all the fun stuff in the video description. So I mean, I guess for the audio version, if you're listening to this on any version, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever else is on there, if you can give us a rating or share with all your friends, please do so. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, please do the same. But yeah, all our social media is in the video version, and I think I keep putting it in the description for audio things. I just don't know if that's readable every single device, because I don't know how it works in every one of them. I do make sure that I put all our social media stuff in there. It's just a matter of, can you access it without having to dig deep into the website to do it?
Yeah, I don't think you have to. I think you can click on it. I think it's good.
Hopefully it's easy enough,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. So yeah, thank you so much for checking us out, guys, and we will see you tomorrow when I will try my ass off not to freak out every single time they announce something.